Good morning, friend. This session is dedicated to class 12, and we are discussing the lesson The Thought Level by Jack Finney. This story deals with a curious experience of a 31-year-old man, Charlie, a daily commuter who reaches his home while taking the subway to the New York's Grand Central Railway Station. In reality, there are only two levels of the stations at Grand Central Railway Station. The third level is just the narrator's imagination. It is a medium of his escape from the real world. He just imagines and wants to escape from the pulse and pressure of the stressful life. That means he wants to get rid of the you know pressure of the real life, and therefore he imagines the third level as an existing subway. But the fact is that the third level doesn't exist. The third level is a mysterious world that is somewhere between his unfulfilled desire, expectations, and dream. It is a point of no escape where the time dimension, that is present, past, and future, do not exist. Therefore, the third level is just the poet's imagination. It is his curious imagination of mind. Perhaps it is a medium of his escape from the pulse and pressure of life. The you know the narrator feels that there are three levels at the Grand Central Railway Station, but in reality there are only two. He has discussed this with his psychiatrist friend Sam. Sam feels that the narrator's experience is a waking dream wish fulfillment. Then his psychiatrist friend Sam feels that the narrator's experience of third level is a waking dream wish fulfillment, and he also explains that the narrator is perhaps engulfed in the in the insecurities and fears of life. So he wants to escape from the real world in a world that is quite an imagination. The narrator is fond of collecting stamps. Even his grandfather had been the had been called the person who was habituated of philately, the collection of postage stamp. Charlie reaches the third level. One summer night, Charlie worked late at the office, and in a hurry, he gets back home. He decides to take the subway from Grand Central Railway Station. He crosses the arched doorway, heading for the subway, and gets lost. The narrator strongly feels that the Grand Central Railway Station grows like a tree and pushes him to a new corridor of stairs. The narrator walks down the corridor. He finds nobody over there. He can hear the sound of the footsteps. He could hear the sound of his own footsteps, and he finds himself at the third level at the Central Railway Station. The scenario at the third level is quite peculiar. There are smaller rooms, fewer ticket windows, and open flame gas lamps. The information booth is made of wood and wax. It looks like the ancient world. Everybody at the station, everybody at the station is dressed in the fashion of the late 19th century. To be sure, the narrator gets a copy of the World dated June 11th, 1989, where the lead story is about President Cleveland. The narrator goes to the ticket window and demands two tickets for Glassburg, Illinois. He wants to go there with his tickets. This he imagines to be a peaceful countryside in the year 1894, where the First World War was 20 years away and the Second World War was 40 years away. To his surprise, the clerk at the ticket counter does not accept his currency bills. Seeing trouble, the narrator runs away from the third level to escape jail. The conclusion is that the narrator fails to find the third level again. His wife is very worried and pursues Charlie to stop looking for the third level. So he resumes his hobby of stamp collection. His psychiatrist friend Sam disapproves, and the narrator and his wife get proof of the experience of the third level. Now both of them start their futile search for the third level platform. The narrator believes that Sam is now at Glassberg in the year 1894. So that is how we come to conclude that the narrator Charlie finds out Sam had bought $800 worth of old style currency. This money was sufficient to set up a hay feed grain business which Sam dreams of. Sam is a qualified psychiatrist but cannot go back to his profession at Glassberg of 1894 because the profession of psychiatrist does not exist at that time. So this is the sum and substance of this story. The the in a nutshell we can say that the narrator imagines the third level, which is his attempt to escape from the pulse and pressure of real life, and that is nothing but that is nothing but his imagination. And the imagination is a curious one where Charlie imagines a thought level that exists in his mind. In the real sense, the thought level doesn't exist. Therefore, we can say that the entire interpretation of this story is nothing but an attempt to escape from the pulse and pressure of life, and the narrator imagines the third level at the Grand Central Railway Station, and therefore he walks into a new corridor where he finds no one there over there. He can hear the sound of his own footsteps and finds nobody there. This curious journey makes him feel that he is perhaps in a different world, perhaps the world of 1894, where everything was different, and his imagination helps him to get his unfulfilled dream getting fulfilled for some time. And this is all about the third level. Thank you. Have a nice day.